SFI has been growing fast. Our forest certification has increased by 20% just in the last year, as has our chain of custody, fiber sourcing, and program participants. We believe it's growing because awareness of certified products from well-managed forests is also growing. We know that in green building rating tools, programs like SFI are repeatedly recognized here in Canada as well as in the US and in UK, Japan, and other nations as well. And we feel that many large corporations, as part of their corporate social responsibility policies, are looking to source products, whether it's paper or solid wood products, from well-managed forests, and SFI provides that. It is true that the vast majority of certifications in North America have happened on large public lands, or in Canada, state lands in the US, or industrial lands. The family forest owner is challenged to get certified for various reasons. The cost of certification is significant. You have to pay for an auditor to come in annually to survey, and just to get the programs and the requirements in place as well. There's a heavy cost. And so for some landowners who may only harvest twice in a lifetime, there really isn't a financial incentive to seek and maintain a certificate. So what our program does is it reaches out through our fiber sourcing certification to small landowners to let them know about their train loggers and where they can find certified train loggers, to look at prompt regeneration after harvest, special sites, wildlife habitat, etc. The American Tree Farm system is, through the American Forest Foundation, is one in the US that has created a small landowner standard. In Canada, the Canadian Federation of Woodlot Owners has created a standard as well that's just sort of coming to market, that's intended to make it more accessible and more realistic for small family forest owners, but it's still an area for growth, for sure. Our standard is different than the tree farm standard, for example, or the CFWO, CSA standard in Canada, and I think those differences can be rationalized based on the scale of the operations and the complexity of the operations. We recognize the American Tree Farm System standard because it's been endorsed by PEFC, an umbrella organization, and I know that the CSA Small Woodlot Standard that the Canadian Federation of Woodlot Owners is involved with are seeking PEFC endorsement, and when that happens, potentially as soon as later this year, we'll recognize them as well because they will have demonstrated they've met those integrity requirements. We believe that forest certification is a very positive thing. All of these certification standards look at economic, environmental, and social requirements. They looked at prompt regeneration, sustainable harvest levels, wildlife habitat, special sites of cultural or biological significance, and we think all of that's really important. But we haven't lost sight of the fact that only 10% of the world's forests are certified to any standard, and therefore we would like to spend our time getting people to embrace a certification to any of those standards, including SFI, and instead, and then after, focus on partnerships and ways to address some of the risks to forestry on the 90% that aren't certified. There's been different bodies of independent research that look at forest certification as well. In the U.S., the Yale School of Forestry, together with Roper, did a survey, and they looked at 2,000 U.S. consumers, and there 19% of the consumers surveyed recognized SFI, 12% recognized FSC. I spoke a little bit in my presentation today about Terra Choice Environmental Marketing, and they do a lot of consumer research as well, and they found recognition for both SFI and FSC in the marketplace, and they found that both those standards met their requirements for credible standards. Carbon market is a certainly a complex market that takes a good skill set and expertise to delve into. We did strike a carbon task force to help us as we revised our standard to look at the role of climate change and carbon, etc. And in our standard, we recognize this as a growing market and a growing opportunity. We'll likely do pilots in this very area in 2010 as we implement our revised standard. But right now, we don't say you shall calculate the net carbon storage in your forest. We believe that's an optional market for others to pursue if they want. But if there are synergies through working together, we'll test those through a pilot and see if we can make it more cost effective and easier for people to do that. I think the main challenge is it's work, right? You have to meet the standard, and in this day, that is a challenge for sure, to meet the requirements of our standard or other standards that are out there. The opportunity is green building rating programs increasingly recognize SFI, as do architects and builders and others, as a way of sourcing wood locally from your backyard that comes from a well-managed certified forest that builds your community and ensures healthy forests moving forward.